কাম ব্যাক অনেকদিন বাদে। আচ্ছা, এবার আমাদের ফিজিক্সের ক্ষেত্রে মেকানিক্স শুরু করতে গেলে ম্যাথমেটিক্যাল ইন্টারপ্রিটেশন অফ দ্য ডিফারেন্ট ফর্মুলাসগুলোর ক্ষেত্রে আমাদের অঙ্কের একটা প্রাথমিক ধারণা তৈরি হওয়া দরকার। এখন বিষয় হচ্ছে, তোমরা মাধ্যমিকে যে ধরনের অঙ্ক শিখে এসেছো, হোয়াট ইউ হ্যাভ টট ইন সেকেন্ডারি ক্লাসেস, ইন বেসিক্যালি ইন ক্লাস 9 and 10, we need some more preliminary ideas, more introductory ideas to deal with the different problems in physics, basically in numericals. আচ্ছা, তাহলে আমরা একটু যতটুকু ফিজিক্সের জন্য যে ম্যাথমেটিক্সটুকু দরকার, the essential mathematics that we need in problem solving for physics, I am going to discuss. Okay, now প্রথমে দেখা যাক in first case. আচ্ছা, প্রথমত আরেকটা কথা বলে রাখি তোমাদের, যে আমাদের অ্যাকচুয়ালি 3 থেকে 4টে ক্লাস লাগবে এই ম্যাথমেটিক্যাল ইন্টারপ্রিটেশনটা বোঝানোর জন্য। প্রথমে আমরা বেসিক ট্রিকোনোমেট্রি, কোয়াড্রেটিক ইকুয়েশন, ক্র্যামার্স রুল এগুলো নিয়ে আলোচনা করছি, গ্রাফ। তারপরে আমরা লিমিট, কন্টিনিউটি, বেসিক ডিফারেন্সিয়েশন এবং ইন্টিগ্রেশনের অ্যাপ্লিকেশন নিয়ে আলোচনা করব। সুতরাং 3 থেকে 4টে ক্লাস প্রয়োজন। আচ্ছা, আমরা জানি যে কোয়াড্রেন্টের ক্ষেত্রে এটাকে অল, সাইন, ইট ইজ ফার্স্ট কোয়াড্রেন্ট, ইট ইজ সেকেন্ড কোয়াড্রেন্ট, থার্ড কোয়াড্রেন্ট, ট্যান, কস। আচ্ছা, এখানে সাইন পজিটিভ, কস পজিটিভ, তাহলে ট্যান পজিটিভ। এখানে অলরেডি সাইন পজিটিভ, কস নেগেটিভ। এখানে ট্যান পজিটিভ, মানে আইদার সাইন পজিটিভ অ্যান্ড কস পজিটিভ, অর আইদার সাইন নেগেটিভ অ্যান্ড কস নেগেটিভ, অ্যান্ড ইন দিস কেস ইট ইজ কস পজিটিভ। তাহলে ফার্স্ট কোয়াড্রেন্ট, সেকেন্ড কোয়াড্রেন্ট, থার্ড কোয়াড্রেন্ট অ্যান্ড ফোর্থ কোয়াড্রেন্ট। ফার্স্ট কোয়াড্রেন্টের ক্ষেত্রে কি অ্যাঙ্গেল যদি থিটা দিয়ে রিপ্রেজেন্ট করি, 0 less than 90 ডিগ্রি, ইট ইজ দ্য ফার্স্ট কোয়াড্রেন্ট। আচ্ছা, সেকেন্ড কোয়াড্রেন্টের ক্ষেত্রে স্বাভাবিকভাবে 90 ডিগ্রি লেস দেন 180 ডিগ্রি, এটা হচ্ছে সেকেন্ড কোয়াড্রেন্ট। থার্ড কোয়াড্রেন্টের ক্ষেত্রে স্বাভাবিকভাবে 180 ডিগ্রি লেস দেন থিটা লেস দেন 270 ডিগ্রি, এটা হচ্ছে থার্ড কোয়াড্রেন্ট। তোমরা প্রত্যেকে বোর্ডটা একটু দেখার চেষ্টা করো, থার্ড কোয়াড্রেন্ট। আর ফোর্থ কোয়াড্রেন্টের ক্ষেত্রে স্বাভাবিকভাবে এটা হবে আমার 270, 270 লেস দেন থিটা লেস দেন 360 ডিগ্রি, ইট ইজ দ্য ফোর্থ কোয়াড্রেন্ট। ওকে, এখন দেখো, যদি কোনো অ্যাঙ্গেল 180 ডিগ্রি প্লাস মাইনাস থিটা বা 360 প্লাস মাইনাস থিটা এই হিসাবে থাকে, ইফ এনি অ্যাঙ্গেল ইজ এক্সপ্রেসড ইন দ্য ফর্ম অফ 180 ডিগ্রি প্লাস মাইনাস থিটা or 360 degree plus minus theta, then sin remains sin, cos remains cos, tan remains tan. But if the angle is taken in the order of 90 degree plus minus theta or 270 degree plus minus theta, then sin becomes cos, cos becomes sin, tan becomes cot, etc. And the corresponding rule of sine will be governed by these principles. In the first quadrant for all, second quadrant sin positive, third quadrant tan positive, and in the fourth quadrant only cos is positive. Let us do a simple example. তাহলে যদি কোনো অ্যাঙ্গেল 180 ডিগ্রি প্লাস মাইনাস থিটা বা 360 ডিগ্রি প্লাস মাইনাস থিটা এই হিসাবে থাকে, সেক্ষেত্রে সাইন সাইনই থাকবে, কস কসই থাকবে, ন্যাচারালি ট্যান ট্যানই থাকবে। আর যদি অ্যাঙ্গেলটি 90 ডিগ্রি প্লাস মাইনাস থিটা বা 270 ডিগ্রি প্লাস মাইনাস থিটা এই হিসাবে থাকে, সেক্ষেত্রে সাইন কসে ট্রান্সফর্ম হবে, কস সাইনে বা ট্যান কটে ট্রান্সফার হবে। আমরা একটা এক্সাম্পল দেখি, লেট আস ডু সাম এক্সাম্পল। ওকে, তাহলে ধরা যাক সাইন 300, ধরা যাক লেট সাইন 300 ডিগ্রি, ফর এক্সাম্পল সাইন 300 ডিগ্রি। So it is this angle, it is remaining in the fourth quadrant. You see that it is greater than 270 degree but less than 360 degree. So this angle remains in the fourth quadrant. So we can write this form in the form as sine of, suppose 270 degree plus, I am just giving you basic example, I am not teaching here mathematics, 270 plus 30. So it is in the form of sine 270 degree plus minus theta. So it will be cos, that is cos 30. Now since the angle remains in the fourth quadrant, cos is positive, so it is plus cos 30, that is root 3 by 2. So sine 300 degree comes out to be root 3 by 2. Cos is positive, so sine cos is positive, So sign is negative, sorry, it will be a negative sign. Sign is negative here. So it will be negative minus root 3 by 2. Sorry, it will be minus root 3 by 2. Similarly, let us check in the another way. Let it is sine 300 degree. We can write as sine, it is as 360 minus 60 degree. So it is in the form of 360 minus 60. It is in the form of 360 plus minus theta. So it will remain as sine 60. But what will be the sign? Since 300 degree, it is in the fourth quadrant. You see, it is in the fourth quadrant where cos is positive but sine is negative. So it will be minus sine 60. That is minus root 3 by 2. Okay. Similarly, let us do another example. Say cos 135 degree. Cos 135 degree. Look, this angle remains in the second quadrant. Okay. So I can write it in either in the form of cos 90 degree plus 45 degree. Now what is cos 90 plus 45? Because we know in a formula cos 90 plus theta, it is minus sine theta. That is minus sine 45. That is minus 1 by root 2. Or let us do this problem in another way. Cos 135. That is, we can write cos 180 minus 45. Now I know when an angle is expressed in the form of, I have told you previously that it is 180 plus minus theta or 360 degree plus minus theta, sine remains sine, cos remains cos. So it will be cos 45. Okay, now what will be the sign? In the second quadrant, sine is positive but cos is negative. So it is negative minus 1 by root 2. So cos 135 degree, it is minus 1 by root 2. Okay, so let us do some important formulas or operations in this way. I am erasing the board. Sine 180 degree plus minus theta. 180 degree plus minus theta. It will be only sine theta. I am not mentioning the sign. Sine rule will be according to this, in accordance with the quadrant rule. Sine 360 degree plus minus theta, it will be sine theta. Cos 180 degree plus minus theta or 360 degree plus minus theta, it will be cos theta. I am not mentioning the sign. You have to check the proper sign. I am not mentioning here the sign. Okay. Similarly, sine 290 degree plus minus theta or 273 degree plus minus theta, it will give you cos theta. I am again not mentioning the sign. Similarly, cos of 90 degree plus minus theta or 273 degree plus minus theta, it will give you as sin theta. Okay. Okay. I am again mentioning you that I have not mentioned here the sign. The sign will be in accordance with the quadrant rules. Okay. Now, let us just remember two important formulas in this connection. So sin 90 degree plus theta. Sin 90 degree plus theta. It is cos theta. You all know cos 90 degree plus theta. It will be of great help to you in dealing with the several trigonometric components, especially when you resolve a vector into its different components in 2 dimension, and by the resolution or by the method of the resolution of a vector into its component, I want to get the resultant of the different coplanar vectors. Okay. These formulas are of great help. Cos 90 plus theta, that is minus sin theta. Okay. Similarly, tan 90 plus theta, it will be minus cot theta. You all observe from this, tan 90 plus theta, it will be minus cot theta. Okay. These trigonometric ratios are of great help when we deal with the rectangular resolution of the component of a vectors, especially when we are asked to find out the resultant of many forces, coplanar forces in 2 dimension. Okay, now there is another important rule in this regard, you all know, known as the sine law. Let this angle is theta 1, this angle is theta 2. You all know this. Perhaps you have already proved the law by vector method or in fundamental mathematics. Theta 1, let the opposite side is A, let this opposite side is B, let this opposite side of the triangle is C. Then I have A by sine theta 1, also known as sine law, and in mechanics this is also of great help when we deal with the equilibrium of a body under the action of several forces. যখন অনেকগুলো বলের ক্রিয়ার অধীনে কোনো বস্তুর সাম্য বিবেচনা করা হয়, এই সূত্রের আমাদের অনেক অ্যাপ্লিকেশন লাগে। তাহলে a by sin theta 1 equals to b by sin theta 2 equal to c by sin theta 3, also known as sine law of triangle. Okay. There are another important points that cos theta 1. What is cos theta 1? Cosine of this angle cos theta 1, it is b square plus c square minus a square by 2bc. You have certainly proved while doing the vectors by using the case of vector dot product. You have certainly proved the formula. That is a square equal to b square plus c square minus 2bc cos theta 1. Okay. Similarly, correspondingly another two formulas can be written here. Two trigonometric cosine ratios cos theta 2, that is a square plus c square minus b square by 2ac. Similarly, cos theta 3. What is cos theta 3? A square plus b square minus c square by 2ab. Okay. Okay. Now, next we are coming in case of quadratic equation. You all know that in case of quadratic equation of a variable, there are two roots of the particular variable in which the quadratic equation is dealt with. Let for example, a quadratic equation in x, it is given by ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. Ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0 with a not equal to 0. Simply because if a is equal to 0, then x we have only one value which is coming as minus c by b. If a is equal to 0, then x will give you only one single value minus c by b. So in that case, you are getting a single value of x. So it does not become remains the quadratic. So it is a quadratic equation when a is not equal to 0. Now you can solve this equation in several ways. Now let alpha and beta are the two roots of this quadratic equation. That is, we get a alpha square plus b alpha plus c equal to 0 and a beta square plus b beta plus c equal to 0. There are some equations satisfied by these roots of the quadratic equation. এই যে দ্বিঘাত সমীকরণ, তার রুট দুটোকে বলা হচ্ছে আলফা এবং বিটা, অর্থাৎ এই সমীকরণের দুটো সমাধান হলো আলফা এবং বিটা। তাহলে আলফা এবং বিটা যদি এই সমীকরণের দুটো সমাধান হয়, তাহলে এই সমীকরণগুলো স্যাটিসফাই করবে। Okay, alpha and beta are the two roots of this equation satisfying the same equation. Now there are some equations which are also satisfied by alpha and beta, some relations. That is alpha plus beta, that is sum of the roots, বীজগুলির যোগফল, minus b by a, and alpha into beta, that is the product of the root, it will be c by a. Okay. Simply I can solve the equation in the following way, that x square plus bx plus c equal to 0, or x square plus b by a into x plus c by a equal to 0 with a not equal to 0. That is x square plus 2x b by 2a plus b square by 4a square plus c by a minus b square by 4a square equal to 0. Okay. Now or x plus b by 2a whole square plus 4a square, it is coming as LCM as 4a square, 4ac minus b square equal to 0, or x plus b by 2a whole square, it is b square minus 4ac by 2a under root square. Okay. So x plus b by 2a, it is plus minus root b square minus 4ac by 2a. That is x equals to, you have certainly done this in your previous class, plus 1 root over of b square minus 4ac by 2a. So the roots of this quadratic equation, which is x square plus bx plus c, I have obtained one root is minus b plus root b square minus 4ac by 2a, and another root is minus b minus root b square minus 4ac by 2a. And in all branches of physics and in all chapters of physics, you have certainly faced with the solution of quadratic equation, or you are going to face with the solution of such quadratic equation. It will be of great help while especially solving the different type of numerical problems. Okay, so alpha, I can write alpha as minus b plus root b square minus 4ac by 2a. Similarly, we can write beta as minus b minus root b square minus 4ac by 2a. Okay, now these two roots, both of the roots may be real, both of the roots may be imaginary, one root may be real, another root may be imaginary. This type of combinations may occur. Now you all check from this equation that if b square minus 4ac, also known as discriminant, also known as the discriminant, if b square minus 4ac greater than 0, then the roots are real. অর্থাৎ বীজগুলি বাস্তব হবে যদি b square minus 4ac greater than 0 হয়। আচ্ছা, similarly the roots will be imaginary, তাহলে এখানে I am writing as roots are real. Okay. Similarly, if b square minus 4ac less than 0, the roots are imaginary. Imaginary. Okay, and obviously the equation have only one root or one solution if b square minus 4ac equal to 0, then the equation will have only one solution. Okay. Okay, this is about the preliminary idea about the quadratic equation, solution of quadratic equation. Okay, now I am coming with the preliminary idea about the determinant, and you have certainly solved in your previous class that the solution of simultaneous equation by the method of cross multiplication, and you have faced determinant while evaluating the cross product of two vectors. You have faced determinant application of determinants already while you have done the cross product of two vectors. Now let a determinant is expressed in the form, let it is a1 a2 a3 b1 b2 b3 and c1 c2 c3. Let a determinant is expressed in the form a1 a2 a3 b1 b2 b3 and c1 c2 c3. Okay, you all check the determinant. Look here that there are three rows. It is row 1, it is row 2 and it is row 3. There are three rows and three columns. It is column 1, it is column 2 and it is column 3. Okay. Okay, now each element, you look also that there are 9 elements, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Each element of this determinant has unique location, and how we express the location? Location is expressed by the corresponding row element followed by the column element. For example, let A1 is the element of first row and first column, first row and first column, so its location will be 1, 1. Similarly B2, let us consider of the element of B2. B2, it lies in the second row and second column. Okay, so its location is 2, 2. Similarly of C2, look, it is remaining in the third row and second column, so its location will be 3, 2. So each element of this determinant has its unique location. Now it is known as 3 by 3, that is 9 elements are there. Now I can easily expand this determinant. Okay, how to expand? Say I am expanding this determinant in terms of the elements of the first row. Okay, that is I am taking A1. Now A1 is the element of first row and first column, so it will be minus 1 to the 1. It is the syntax, row plus column. When I am taking A1, all the elements corresponding to the row and column in which A1 exists, all the elements corresponding to the row and column in which A1 exists will all be omitted. That is, these elements and those elements will all be omitted. Then the remaining it is B2, B3 and C2, C3. A1 যে রো এবং যে কলামে রয়েছে সেই সব এলিমেন্টগুলো বাদ যাবে। তাহলে এরা বাদ গেল এবং এরা বাদ গেল, কি পড়ে রইল? B2, B3, C2, C3 প্লাস A2, it is first row and second column. ফার্স্ট রো এন্ড সেকেন্ড কলাম। তাহলে যখন আমি A2 কে নিচ্ছি, A2 যে রো এবং যে এলিমেন্টটি আছে তারা সবাই বাদ যাবে। B1, B3, C1, C3. Okay. Now about the third, it is definitely A3. Now A3 is the element of first row and third column. That is -1 to the power first row and third column. That is, এই এলিমেন্ট আর এই এলিমেন্ট গুলো বাদ যাবে। These elements and those elements will all be omitted because A3 is remaining in the first row and third column. So what is left? B1, B2, C1, C2. B1, B2 and C1, C2. Achha, okay. Okay, now how to expand this determinant? This into this minus that into that. Okay, that is A1 into B2, C3 minus B3, C2 minus A2 into, because -1 cube equal to -1, B1, C3 minus B3, C1 plus A3 B1, C2 minus B2, C1. Okay, now I can take this minus as common, then it is becomes A1 into B2, C3 minus B3, C2 plus A2 into B1, C3 B3, C1 minus B1, C3 plus A3 into B1, C2 minus B2, C1. This is the value of the determinant. Now, solution of simultaneous equation by the method of determinants is known as Cramer's rule. It is of great importance in physics, especially where more than 3 variables are concerned and you have been asked to solve those equations, say in case of a complex electrical network circuit where 3 unknown currents are involved or 3 unknown parameters are involved whose values are to be calculated. And in such cases of solution of simultaneous equation containing 3 variables, Cramer's rule is of great help. Now, let Cramer's rule. Let 3 equations are A1x plus B1y plus C1z equal to say D1. Okay. A2x plus B2y plus C2z equal to D2. Say it is equation number 1, it is our equation number 2. And A3x plus B3y plus C3z equals to D3. Equation number 3. Okay. Then, using the Cramer's rule, how to solve? The outline of the Cramer's rule is as follows. I am just writing the outline. X by. When you are taking x, that is the coefficients corresponding to x will all be omitted. That is A1, A2, A3 will be omitted and they will be substituted by D1, D2, D3. That is D1, D2, D3 column wise, then followed as B1, B2, B3, and look, B1, B2, B3 are the corresponding coefficients of y in the 3 given simultaneous equations. Then C1, C2, C3. Okay, equals to y by. When I am taking y, then the coefficients of y, that is B1, B2, B3 will be replaced by D1, D2, D3 as before. Now, that is A1, A2, A3. Those are the coefficients of x. Coefficients of y will be replaced by D1, D2, D3. Then C1, C2, C3. Now equals to Z by A1, A2, A3 B1, B2, B3 and D1, D2, D3 will be equals to 1 by A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3, C1, C2, C3. Okay. So it is very much simple to observe that these equations will have no solution. These equations is a special condition that these equations will have no solution when this determinant reduces to 0, because in that case x, y and z becomes undefined, because the value of x will come as, if this determinant is represented by delta 1 and this is delta, say for simplicity, then x will be delta 1 by delta. If it is delta 1, this is delta, x will be delta 1 by delta. That is x equal to delta 1 by delta. Now where delta equal to that determinant. Now what is delta 1? Delta 1 is this determinant. Similarly, this is delta 2. This is represented by delta 3. Clearly, if delta equal to 0, then x becomes undefined. That is, the equations will have no solution if delta equal to 0. So, the equations will have no solution. The equations will have no solution when delta equal to 0. Delta equal to 0 means this term equal to 0. This implies A1, B1, C1, determinant of A2, B2, C2 and A3, B3, C3 equal to 0. Okay. Now, let us discuss with the elementary idea about the progression. Okay. Progression. Okay. Elementary idea about the progression. Okay, just wait. Now, you all know there are basically three types of progression. First is the arithmetic progression, then followed by the geometric progression, and the remaining third is the harmonic progression. And in physics, arithmetic progression and geometric progression are of great help. For example, if a ball is dropped from a particular height and it gets again and again rebounced, then if you are asked to calculate what is the total distance traversed by the ball before coming to rest, you have to apply the idea of geometric progression. You will do in the next mechanics class. Okay, so first I am coming as arithmetic progression. Arithmetic progression. Arithmetic progressions, in case of arithmetic progressions, terms are arranged in those way that the difference between any two successive terms is constant throughout the progression. In arithmetic progression, terms are arranged in such a way that the difference between any two successive terms is always a constant. And the difference between any two successive terms is known as the common difference. Okay. Now let arithmetic progression is like A1 plus A2 plus A3 plus A4, let up to AN. Okay. So there are n number of terms of this progression. And if it is arithmetic progression, that is A2 minus A1 equals to A3 minus A2 will be equals to AN minus 1. Let it is D. This D is known as common difference. So nth term of this progression will be AN, A plus n minus 1 into D. It is the nth term of this progression. Okay, now the sum of first n terms of this progression, let be represented by Sn. Sum of first n terms of the progression, let it be represented by Sn. It will be n by 2 plus n minus 1 into D. That is, now this term can be written as you look that this term, it is nothing but the nth term of the progression. So it is simply coming as, that is, the sum of first n terms of an arithmetic progression is equal to n by 2 into sum of the first term and the last term of that given progression. Okay. Now let us discuss about the geometric progression. About the geometric progression. Okay. In case of a geometric progression, the terms are arranged in such a way that the ratio between any two successive terms is a constant. This is known as the common ratio. Okay. Now let a geometric progression is given by a1 plus a2 plus a3. Let there are n number of terms. Let these terms are the terms of a geometric progression. Now the common ratio, I am representing it by r, that is a2 by a1 equal to a3 by a2. It is the common ratio. Okay. Now r may be greater than 1, r may be less than 1. Okay, if r is greater than 1, then the sum of the first n terms, of the geometric series is given by Sn a1 into r to the power n minus 1 by r minus 1. Similarly, if r is less than 1, that is r is a fraction, r is less than 1, then the sum will be 1 minus r to the power n by 1 minus r. Okay. Now, another important idea in this case, the geometric series may be of infinite, may contain infinite number of terms. That is the infinite geometric progression series, or simply known as infinite GP series. In case of infinite GP series, thus it will be r minus 1, a1 by r minus 1, where r is definitely greater than 1. For r less than 1, it will be 1 minus r. Okay. That is, similarly, if r is less than 1, then the sum will be a1 by 1 minus r, that is minus 1 less than r less than 1 condition. Okay. Now, another important case in this case, so what is the nth term of that progression? The nth term of this progression, nth term of this geometric progression is given by n, a1 into r to the power n minus 1 into r to the power n minus 1. This is the nth term of that progression. Now, there are some important series which needs to be applied in the different cases. I am writing those. Some important series. So 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 up to n terms. You all know that is a simple arithmetic progression series with a common difference equals to 1. It will be n into n plus 1 by 2. Now, second, it is first basic series. 1 square plus 2 square plus 3 square up to n square. It will be, that is, summation over, basically summation over n square. It will be n by 6 into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1. N by 6 into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1. Similarly, 1 cube plus 2 cube plus 3 cube, that is summation over n cube. it is n into n plus 1 by 2 square. Okay, just wait, I am coming after 5 minutes.